It's definitely like a bit squishy in here, unfortunately. It's like a little spa. You're being punished. I just find these so gross. Okie dokie, we're gonna be doing some major remodeling today on my cacti and succulents. Basically, long story short, they may or may not have root mealies, and I want to, one, check on that, two, deal with that if it needs to happen, deal with it maybe even if it doesn't need to happen, like as a precautionary, because I know some plants in my cabinet, my cactus cabinet, had root mealies, so like, if they've ever sort of shared anything, it could have root mealies, so I might just do that just in case. And I kind of am tempted to repot into some cacti and succulent soil as well. I've have videos where I talked about why I have previously grown my cacti and succulents in semi-hydro substrate without a reservoir. I've talked all about that before. I've found I really liked it, but I feel like it was a great way, like it was a great tool for me to like get into growing cacti and succulents, but now that I have more experience, I feel like I can give them a go in like normal medium. And if I am planning on ever like dismantling my cactus cabinet and adding these into my collection, like with normal substrate, having them in soil would just generally be a little bit easier. I would like better understand how to water them. I mean, not that I don't know how to water them, but since they're all in the same place right now in the cabinet, I can like take them all out, water them, put them all back, same place. Whereas if they're in like random different places, slightly more difficult. So that's the plan. We're gonna be doing a big old repot today. We can chat through it. I didn't plan exactly what I was gonna say, but just like a chill one, so maybe grab yourself some repotting or some plant chores and you can do them along with me. But before I do, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into this stuff because I feel like I just need to go for it. Ooh, maybe I should have grabbed a bowl. I'm gonna grab a bucket or something for all of the semi-hydro, which I will have to boil like 100% if there's even a chance that there's pests involved. So let me grab a bucket to put that all in and we can get started. Got my cactus gloves here as well because I probably need them at some point. And treatment as well, which I'll talk about in a second. Just because I'm not normally the biggest fan of chemical pesticides in general. I would prefer to not use chemical pesticides, but sometimes it has to be done, and this is a situation for me when it does. Again, I'll talk about that in a second. But I think I'm just gonna start by dumping these out. It's just not the easiest thing to do. I should probably put on at least one of these gloves and I can use this as a I can use this to pull it out. So part of my worry as well is that I didn't use a clear pot on all of them, especially this one. So this is my Easter lily cactus. Let me put the other glove on so I can actually hold it and show it to ya. I really rate these, by the way. I say as I stab myself. I really rate these gloves, by the way. They're pretty freaking good at, okay, yeah. This is just fully, probably dry rotted. Like I can just rip the whole bottom bit off of it. And that's what we're looking like on the inside. It must have gotten too dry at some point and then just I didn't water it soon enough. And that's probably why it's going all brown in there as well. Okay, to be honest, I know I could probably chop it off and like pop that in a pot and try and save it. I genuinely don't feel like doing that. I don't love this plant so much so that I feel like I need to. So that one might just be a goner. It does have a little guy on it though. Like a little pup. Though I think the pup might have root mealies. Or it looks like it has the symptoms of. I don't know if I can actually see. I'm not going to pull out my microscope on these things because I don't really feel like I want to or need to. But this is what I am seeing there. If it'll focus. All those little like white spots in there. Not ideal. So I think this one might just be a no-go, which is just a bit of a shame, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think I want this one enough for me to value even keeping the little guy. So there we go. I tried with the Easter lily. It just decidedly wasn't my thing. And I think that is okay. I don't need to keep all of my cacti and succulents. Like, y'all have seen me talk about it quite a lot in the last, I think, sort of few months, where I've just been not enjoying them as much as I would have, like, wanted to. I would love to want them and enjoy them. I would absolutely freaking love that, but it's just not been the case, really, unfortunately. And so it feels kind of sad. So some of these I was able to pot into clear containers, these little airway tower pots, and I think, like, I don't see anything in here that looks like it is mealies, but I feel like that doesn't mean that they don't exist. Given I don't think this particular one ever had root mealies, so like I'm kind of not worried. But what I'm gonna do is I have grabbed myself a bowl of water here because I'm going to mix together, some Bug Clear Ultra Vine Weevil Killer, which also deals with mealybugs, as well as scale and like other sort of things. Like I said, wouldn't normally use sort of pesticide, but since I'm not familiar with mealybugs, I don't feel as confident in getting rid of them as I do with other things. Let me add the right amount. I just don't feel as confident with it, and so I don't want to like risk it, if that makes sense. Because I've tried just using hydrogen peroxide before, and obviously that didn't fully work because I still had some freaking mealybugs in my possession, unfortunately. So like it didn't work well enough. And I know there are like sort of more predatory mite options. I'd rather give these a fresh start than start with a potential problem, especially if I'm thinking about eventually bringing these into my collection, like not in a cabinet sort of way. So I've made my little bowl of water, and I am just going to let these things sort of soak in it. I can put multiple in at once in here and just like let them kind of jam and soak for a little while before I pot them into soil a little bit later. So let me, I have too many things. Let me put the bowl on that side, and this can be my work zone and that can be my dump zone. All good. This will be fine. It'll be great. So Next up we have my African milk tree, which is doing like perfectly fine. I'm not worried about it. This one doesn't look, again, like it has anything in there. Oh, so I'm not worried, but I think I'd rather be safe than sorry with it. Again, like the last one, it doesn't look like there's anything going on, but we're gonna put you in there and you can take your time and hopefully soak for a little bit and be okay. My little, what is this called? It's not a Zelenica, is it? Haworthia, some sort of Haworthia. Don't exactly know what type it is, but it's a little Haworthia. And I mean, it's quite nice to see that the roots on these ones, they have actually attached to the semi-hydro and grown into it. That's kind of like that's what they were meant to do. Okay, pop those in there. And then we can keep on keeping on with the bigger things, like my booby cactus, which I know for a fact also did have root mealies at some point. Again, I think I treated it. I mean, I know I treated it, but I think I got rid of them. But it could be one of those things that like wasn't actually fully treated. Also, this is like very, very thirsty. Yeah, it's definitely like a bit squishy in here, unfortunately. But again, I'm still not seeing anything that looks like it could be an issue mealybug wise, other than just being like a generally dehydrated plant. So that's okay. It's like a little spa for my for my cacti. I did my moss pole spa and now I'm doing my cactus spa. It's quite funny. Love if that one could like stay upright, but I don't think it can. Will it even stay in? Okay, it's only a little bit drinky. I might just hold this for a second. I don't know how long, I mean, I don't think you're necessarily supposed to soak it, but that's what I'm going to do just because that's what I have available. Because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to like water through with the bug killer stuff. And I know I'm probably not supposed to go straight in with the old pots. That's the thing, I want to make sure that if I am potting it up again, I'm potting it with a clear pot, and I don't have tons of clear pots just like readily available. I have one at the small size and a few at the mini size, and this guy, but I think I might save this guy for one of the bigger ones, which I really hope those don't have root mealies because that would suck the most. I also have that. I could pot in that. I could solder some holes in it and use that. Yeah. Quick bit of DIY here, 1 second. I just soldered some holes into the bottom of this in the kitchen, just so I've created a bit of a planter, which I mean will do the job perfectly fine for down the line. Maybe I'll put these ones in that. So let's pull these out. Okay, pop those like that. Okay, I can start off by potting some of these. like the smaller ones that have been soaking in here for a bit longer. And like I said, I'm going to be using cactus and succulent soil because I already have this stuff. And I feel confident in my abilities now, whereas I used to not feel confident in my abilities, and that's why semi-hydro was a good starter. If that makes sense. Let's start with these little guys. Okie doke. So that is what we are working with now, and I think I might rinse this tray out as well before I put things back into it. I feel like I should need to rinse everything probably, but I could do that a bit later. Flip you around. That guy in there. And it's okay if there's still a little bit of semi-hydro around the like sort of roots of these, because this substrate has quite a lot of grit in it anyways, and probably some pumice, which aren't exactly the same things in semi-hydro, but like it's not going to care if there's a little bit of rock in there, you know what I mean? It will, like, it'll be fine. There we go. That's 2 down. Way more to go. Okay, be careful, Emma, be careful. I feel like this little cactus is the hardest because it's one of the most spiky ones I have. Like, at least with the booby cactus, I can kind of get my hands around a non-spiky bit. But this one doesn't have any non-spiky bits. Maybe I will go less. And I feel like if there are root mealies on these, it will be easier to see them in soil as well, because they'll have a little bit more contrast in there, and so it'll make it slightly easier just to like see them. But they'll probably take a minute to like sort of pop up if they are in here, so I will be keeping an eye on these for at least a little while. I'm gonna have to rinse this one off a little bit as well, because I've got semi-hydro just like fully on the outside of it, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can give it a big rinse after this video is done. Okay. Sorry, I feel like I'm not very talkative today. I'm like somewhat concentrating, somewhat just trying to like make sure I don't screw it up. But also, the main thing that's going on here is plants, so do I really need to say all that much? If I take that out, pop them in there. I am going to do a couple more unpottings and then give some of these guys a big washout because that's what it needs. This one, I don't think I have ever watered this one with any of the others because it always had its own pot, so I'm not really worried about it, but you know, just in case. And then this guy, my dead stick plant, which again, this one definitely had root mealies previously. So if it does again, I wouldn't be surprised. But it doesn't really look like it does. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, there's definitely some in there. Yeah, you can see them squirming, moving about slightly. There's not like loads. I don't see them many other places, but they do exist right here, just right here. Which is really gross, but at least we've found them. This is not all for naught, which is good. Oh yeah, there's some in there as well. I found them. That is so gross. Ah! You're being punished. Okay, give me a sec to give these all a big wash. I'm not really worried about putting these things in the same bath because it's a bath of death, I think. So I don't think it would be a problem. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I'm caught. Okay, this is not working. Bath of death. Okay. Okay. Maybe I will grab another vessel and give them all another like really big dunk with this before I repot them. But I'm going to give these a super thorough wipe down and like wash before I can put anything else back in them. Will that fit in there? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But also, my downstairs neighbors started doing construction. They've been doing this on and off for ages, and I've been doing a really good job of being able to like avoid it. But now that I'm in the middle of this, I can't just like stop. So I will do my best to cut around any sort of construction noise, but I'm really sorry if there's any. I will do my best to avoid it, like I said. So I have washed out a bunch of the pots and I put them right here. I've washed these out with soap and water. They are clean as can be. I mean, that's just staining from like something old. There's a bit of staining on that one, but they are clean, which is awesome. And I've made myself a jug of water. Maybe I'll just temporarily. Yeah, I made myself a jug of the killer water. So the bug clear water, so I can pot these things up fresh. And I've got to use a new bag of soil, and I'm going to start with the, knocking things over. I'm gonna start with this one, and we are going to just really quick dip her, shake her about, and then put her in there. And I know this is a bit of a downgrade in pot size, but I haven't really found there to many, like, the roots don't really grow intensively for me with cacti and succulents, so I'm like not really that worried about it. Just trying to pack the soil in around those roots with my handy dandy paintbrush here. I'm not using the paintbrush side, I'm using the stick side, obviously. But, you know, just have to clarify in case someone doesn't understand. Cool beans. There's this tall guy. And maybe I'll have to put more soil in them once they sort of get watered and sort of some soil runs through, but I can totally do that down the line. It doesn't have to, like, I'm not worried about it right this second, you know? Gosh, even every single little bit of perlite I see is making me scared. Stresses me out. Okay, now for the booby cactus, which this one genuinely also had the mealies at one point. So I'm hoping that, I mean, I didn't see any on this time, but you never know. And we're going to double rinse just to be safe before popping it in here. And she's really thirsty, honestly. I need to be better about watering these, and I think potentially having them in soil will help me be a little bit better with them, just because I don't know, I was only watering them like once every month or every couple months when they were in semi-hydro, but I feel like they probably wanted a little bit more, especially because they are in an artificial environment in my home and they're warm and like they don't go into dormancy really. So I think if I'm a little bit more on top of watering these ones, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I don't want to overlove them because that's always the problem I've had in the past, is I would end up overwatering my cacti and succulents and then they end up melting, which is not what we want. But I feel like I fear that I've gone too far in the opposite direction, like with my Easter lily there, where it just like dried out and then melted. Okay, that will do for that one. And you can go in this fun pot I've got here. There we go. And then we will do this guy. Let me just, I'm kind of tempted to do a new thing of water. No, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. You can definitely see the mealybugs floating on the top of this water. Yeah, Cleo? I'm busy right now, sweetie. What do you need? I'm working. Okay, yeah, so I feel like I'm going to have to empty that bowl, and I'll have to empty this one as well. Which, oh, I do see, oh, but those might be just ones that were floating on the other one. And I pulled out. Okay, I'm just gonna dunk you in here. Really go for it. Hopefully that will have done the job, and that anything, if there is anything still like technically on the plant, it will have killed it. I don't know. I don't know. I just find these so gross that like it's really difficult to deal with. Or do I just like chop this one and start it over? That's another option where I could like reroot these ones, because I've had this one for ages. I wonder, let me do a quick Google search on how to propagate the dead stick plant, because if I can chop it and prop it and just like get rid of the roots altogether, I feel like that could be a really good option for me. So 1 second.
But also I will be showing you, of course, how to propagate it.
So I watched a single YouTube video, and I think you can just do it with stem cuttings. So that's what I am going to do. And they said to not use scissors because it can, like, that squishes the stems. Instead to use a razor. And I don't have a razor, but I do have an X-Acto knife, which will do the job nicely. But also be careful doing this, obviously. And also the sap on these is like quite aggressive, so avoid touching that if you can. Okay, cool, that will do. And I'm going to throw the bottom of this out, and I will keep these ones. And they said to like wait a couple hours before you repot them, just because you want them to callus over a little bit. So I'm not gonna do that in this video. I won't pot them up, but just know that I am propagating my dead stick plant instead of just keeping it as is, because I don't trust these bits at all. At all. Like the fact that I can see them on here. And I don't think they're alive anymore. They're probably dead. But I just don't like that I can see them. That's what stresses me out. Okay, well, not my problem. They're going into the bin, and I'm going to get some fresh water out of here because I'll show you what I'm seeing. It is gross that I can see these mealybugs on the surface. Ew. They're just everywhere. Gross. Fresh bowl of this will be good, especially because the only ones I have to do left are my big boys, and I don't want those to get root mealies. And like, I know this is death water, and so in theory it's supposed to be absolutely fine and not be a problem because they wouldn't be alive, but like, I'm being extra cautious, okay? Fresh water, all good, and we can dump some stuff out. Let's do the big euphorbia first. This one I don't think has any issues. I don't think it ever had any issues for me. But just because I don't think it's there doesn't mean it's absolutely not, unfortunately. Spilling all over the floor, good. Again, I don't see anything, which is a good sign. Okay. Let's give you a dipperoonie. And then I think I'm going to try pot it into this pot, which is, again, clear, which I do prefer, or I will prefer for these in general, have been preferring. I know this is like more of a tropical plant pot, but I don't think it really matters. Having some like aeration in the soil by having this, like the holes on the sides, is not the end of the world. Yeah. And unfortunately, it can't go quite as deep as the other one, like the other pot. But this is the biggest clear pot I have. And I know I could probably go out and buy some clear pots, but I don't want to. So it'll be fine. Sure, it will be absolutely fine. Things don't have to be perfect the first time you do them. Okay, maybe this pot is too small, but like, whatever. As long as it can like kind of stand on its own, it doesn't really matter, right? Okay, yeah, I don't know if this can stand on its own. Or do I just go with a not clear pot and just accept that that might have to be? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm not gonna go with the pot I had it in just in case. I genuinely don't see anything sus, you know? But just in case. I also don't see any mealies on the surface of this water, this death water, because that would be like a surefire thing based off of the other one where like I could barely see them and they were there. It would make sense. Oh my god, that would have been painful if that had hit me. So this looks like it's approximately the same size pot, but since it doesn't have that like water reservoir down the bottom, it's bigger. So I'm just going to use that instead. Okay, and then we can unpot ya. Very graceful, Emma. And repot ya. There we go. I have soil all over myself. It's fine. That'll do. And I can put it back. And then the last one is my lovely blue Myrtillo. And I'm gonna have so much semi-hydro to boil after this. And it definitely needs boiling because it's literally got pests in it. I know I could throw it away, but I really would prefer to not if I can help it. I haven't repotted this one in literal years at this point. So maybe it's just time anyways. I feel like this would be way easier with two people just because it's so spiky. I should have done this while Claire was here. Oh, whatever. Because last time we genuinely repotted this one together. Because she gave it to me. And so it was easier to do it together. But this time, it's just me on my lonesomes. And it's not like soil where you can kind of like compress it to get it to come out. Because it's just rocks. Oh. Oh. Holy cow. It's not like a resounding yes, but I'm just sort of like chipping away at the semi-hydro because I need to get it off anyways. If I see anything that I think is definite, I will pop some footage in. Okay, so I don't see anything like insanely concerning. You know, like I don't see any like actual bugs crawling around like I did on the other one. And of course that doesn't mean that they're not there. But I feel better about it. Just go straight in. And to be honest, I probably need like a way bigger bowl. It's probably not the right way to do this, but you know, we can't all be perfect. I can, however, also go ahead and water this one. That's what I'll do. I will water this one with the insecticide. And that will be the vibe to like make sure everything is gone. Wow. Again, in this in the death water, I don't see anything, so it is making me just generally more confident that this one doesn't have mealies, though it is just getting everywhere. But that's why we have a potting mat. I might just have the right amount, which would be splendid. Because I was a little bit worried I would run out of soil. Okay, cool beans. I will water this one with some of the bug killer in a little bit, but that's not a... I'll do that after this video. For now, I think I am done. I just feel better about this now that I'm like in a good place with cacti and succulents. I feel like I can trust myself in soil, whereas I didn't used to. Ow, that kind of hurt. Okay, that's okay. Oh, okay, this is where I'm going to end this video. It's been a little bit crazy. I was really hoping I wasn't gonna find mealies, but alas, sometimes it just happens. I had a feeling I probably was, hence the whole death water situation. I feel so much better calling it death water than chemical pesticide. It makes me feel slightly better about it, even though I know it's chemical pesticide, which is not ideal and I would prefer to not be using. But hopefully now that I have given these sort of a big fresh start, I'll be like good to go in the future and not have to worry about it. And if I do see any sort of like issues, I can deal with that a little bit more organically, biologically, hopefully in the future. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to get some plant chores done or something during this time. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplantey things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Also, if you want to be notified when I do post videos, click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button and YouTube will tell you when I post, which is awesome. So yeah, that is there. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!